Hi everyone, it's been some time since I've shared what's happening in the CF community, so I wanted to reach out and just give you an update. This past year was another challenging time for me. I recently did the math and I realized I was sick for about 40% of 2019 and 70 days so far in 2020. And of course, right now it's a scary time for everyone. There's a lot of uncertainty and anxiety. For everyone who's in a high risk group, of course, people with CF are amongst this group. It's a frightening time. People with CF already need to be hyper vigilant to avoid germs and stay on top of taking care of ourselves. The stakes are just that much higher right now, and we cannot underestimate the seriousness of the situation we find ourselves in. People have asked how I'm doing given the new reality. Well, Aiden, Drew, and I are taking every precaution. We're staying safe, we're doing our best to stay positive, and still we count our blessings. Now on to the larger CF picture. There's quite a bit of information to share, so I'll try to be concise. Vertex is the company which brought us early generations of gene modulator drugs in years past, Kalydeco, Orkambi, and Symdeko. Recently, you may have heard about their latest drug called Trikafta. Trikafta is a literal game changer for people with CF. Patients on Trikafta have been saved from end-stage lung disease and from requiring transplants. They report a vitality they've never known before, going from chronic coughing and chest pain to blissfully peaceful breathing, from being afraid to laugh because of the breathlessness that results in the ensuing coughing fits, to laughing joyously and fearlessly. All this newfound energy means more time, not just quantity, but quality time with loved ones, more time living, less time being a shell of a being. And people have reported its effects within the first hours of the first dose. Without question, it's the most powerful weapon in the CF arsenal to date. But not for Canadians. While it's been available in the United States and elsewhere in the world since 2019, Canada remains the only first world country that does not have access to this life-giving drug. It's true, Vertex has not yet applied to Health Canada to get Trikafta approved. The reality is, many pharma companies cite concerns with proposed regulatory changes to Canada's medicine pricing rules, and this is not solely a CF issue. All Canadians need to know what's at stake. The Patent Medicine Prices Review Board, or PMPRB, determines the maximum price a company can charge for newly patented drugs sold in Canada. Proposed changes to PMPRB policy that are set to take effect in July are beyond extreme. It would mean a seemingly arbitrary and steep drop of new patented drug prices of as much as 84%. But such severe price reductions will drastically reduce Canada's attractiveness for drug developers as a country in which to do their business. As much as people may think on the surface that forcing slashed prices on new drugs is a good idea, the pharma companies are accountable to their investors. Investors are needed to fund future drug innovations. Canada claims the new policy will not affect companies applying to Health Canada to get their drugs into our market. However, the looming policy changes have been known to pharma companies for some time, and in 2019, only 15% of new drugs available in the US were submitted to Health Canada. 1-5. Is likewise impacting new clinical trials. New trials registered with Health Canada from November 1st through to the end of February fell by almost 60% compared with the average of those registered in the same period in the preceding 4 years. Comparable data for the US shows no similar decrease. Let me repeat, this is not a problem only for the CF community. It will impact all Canadians who may need access to new and novel cancer treatments for rare cancers or drugs that are used when people just don't respond to traditional treatments. This is an access issue based on medications being approved and available for use in Canada. Drug coverage, both public and private, is a separate issue. Vertex has reached out to our government 6 times now, and most recently has offered Trikafta for free for 90 days amid the COVID pandemic, if Canada comes to the table to negotiate a portfolio deal for their suite of gene modulator drugs. Canada's response? Essentially excuses. Excuses not to negotiate. Canada's inaction and seemingly heartless indifference is astonishing. Why have so many other countries found a path forward to get their citizens gene modulators and we have not? Why do our politicians care so little about the suffering of the CF population? When the Liberals were in the seat of provincial power, the PCs were very quick to criticize them for not supporting the drug needs of people with CF. The PCs now have the power, and they are sitting on their hands, making excuses. Let me remind them that CF is a progressive and aggressive disease. We just don't have time for political games. And let me also point out that until recently, Canada's CF population had among the highest survival rates among the world. But watch as we needlessly drop to shameful ranks if we continue to be denied access to the life-saving treatments we desperately need. In the meantime, the CF community is working hard to stay safe and sane during a very scary time and to spread awareness about this plight. This is the time of year where I usually ask for support for our annual CF walk. I feel strange asking for donations this year with everything that's happening and the hardships I'm sure many are facing. But people have asked me, so I've included the link for anyone who's interested. As always, there is no pressure to donate. I am grateful for every single dollar we raise and for your time and your interest in hearing the updates in our CF fight. And there are non-financial ways to help us, which are just as important. We need to get loud for CF. We need more voices to get this story out. If you're inclined, please post a video on social media, or you can write an impassioned message and tag Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, Canada's Minister of Health Patty Hajdu, your Provincial Minister of Health, and your elected member. Tell them it is their job to work with pharma companies so that Canadians are not left behind breathless while the rest of the world fights for their citizens' rights to breathe. As well, there's a petition that you can sign to repeal the changes to the patent medicines regulations that I'll include in my email message. Please sign it, please share it. The deadline for this is fast approaching though, that's May 20th. As always, I thank you so much for your time. I thank you for your support. Thank you for watching this message. Please share it as you see fit, and please stay safe.